Morning folks and welcome back. I'm out on a 2-day little mini bike packing adventure this weekend with Martin Wildmark. I'm going to go and meet up with him shortly. I'm meeting him in Halesworth, and then we're going to continue riding down to the River Blyth, where we're going to put our bikes on our pack rafts and paddle down the Blyth to Southwold and then go and find somewhere to camp. Should be really, really good. Very excited. I spent the night last night in a small woodland near Halesworth, just so that I was here to meet Martin this morning. I got the train up yesterday. I didn't really want to drive and leave my car unattended for a couple of days in a town I don't know. So yeah, the train seemed like the best option.
Ready? I think so. Right, yeah. That way to Blyford. It's been a while since I've been out on a bike, I can tell you that.
Well, we've got to the River Blyth. This is Blyford Bridge, and you can see the river just behind me there. It is tidal, but we're just at slack tide, high tide at the moment, so the plan is that we'll use the tide to help us along as we're going in that direction towards the coast. So I think we're going to go downstream a little bit, head up towards where those trees are in the distance and try and get in over there. Martin says there's a fence that's down, so yeah, hopefully we'll find an easier place to get into the river. Been the first time having my bike on the raft. Yeah, I want to give myself the best chance of not getting wet.
Well, that looks about the best spot I think of so far.
Well, we're all set up and transformed into waterborne mode. It takes a bit of time, obviously, you know, taking the bikes to pieces, taking the wheels off, strapping them down so that nothing wobbles free. I don't want to be losing anything overboard while we're paddling along, especially once we get into the estuary a little bit later on. But I've managed to get everything kind of squared away. I'm quite happy with how tight it all is. I've got some stuff inside the pack raft. I've got a big airtight zip at the back, so I can put stuff inside the tube, you know, the inflatable bit of the pack raft, which is handy. So I've got my camping gear in there, my tent, my sleeping bag and everything. Everything else I kind of need to have in the boat with me. I've got a dry bag with camera gear and whatnot. If I need to change batteries and things, I need access to that. So that's in there. And we're kind of ready to go, Martin. I think so.
I think so. I think we've spent enough time fannying about, haven't we?
Yeah,
getting everything set up.
Well, we're floating. Well, it must be something about pack rafting with Martin. The last time we were out on the Waveney, it was a bit like that. Reedy, overgrown. Oh, and it absolutely stinks.
Made it.
You can see that tide mark on the reeds. It's got to be a foot, hasn't it, from high tide?
It's definitely dropped quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. We're out into the wide part of the estuary now. It's just a big, wide, open expanse of water, or it looks like it is, but it's actually really shallow. It's mud flats and lots of posts and things sticking up out of the mud. There's a clearly defined channel of posts with starboard and port markings on, and it's really important to follow that channel, otherwise you're going to end up in the mud. Martin was saying that this area here didn't always look like this. This was created during the 1953 storm surge. Flooded loads of villages, lots of people died, and this area here was created. The banks of the river were breached and the water stayed, you know. is what it's like now. It used to be kind of open fields and a proper riverbank. We've got the wind behind us and we're travelling with the tide. And actually, even if you stop paddling, you still go along at quite a decent speed. You know, a few corrective paddle strokes here and there to keep you on course. But actually, if I just stop paddling completely, the boat will turn, but I'll still be carried along nicely. This is the life.
Lovely.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
absolute heaven. Probably net about 4 of them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're in Southwold. We've come to the Sole Bay Fish Company. We're not having fish and chips, although they do the best fish and chips in Southwold by far. But Martin's treating us to a seafood platter, which has got all sorts on it: smoked fish and prawns, I think.
Everything that lives in the sea. Basically.
Fantastic. The sea on a plate.
One of those bad boys.
Yeah. Oh man.
Absolutely beautiful.
Well, lunch was absolutely spectacular. And I'm stuffed. Probably didn't need a portion of chips to go with that enormous seafood platter, but it was good, wasn't it?
It was a starter.
It was a starter.
You can't beat the food there, you really can't.
No, it was amazing.
Absolutely spot on.
Right on the road?
Up here, where it says no entry.
Yeah. This ride along here is absolutely glorious. The tide is coming in, but there's a good amount of firm, wet sand at the bottom of the beach to ride on. And it's, yeah, well, it's just like riding on a dirt path. It's firm enough.
Got the budgie smugglers as well, so you might have to blur the swimming outside a little bit. There we go.
We've stopped at our earmarked campsite for the night. It's just on the beach, at the back of the beach, underneath these short cliffs here, about 2 miles north of Southwold. So it's just far enough that there aren't very many people on the beach. The odd dog walker. We're not going to set anything up just yet because, you know, it's going to be obvious what we're doing if we do that. So we're just going to sit and chill, enjoy being on the beach in the sunshine. The sound of the waves crashing on the shore. It's absolutely blissful. Yeah, we'll just kill some time, relax a bit, and then we'll think about getting set up once you know, everybody else is cleared off the beach.
It was February. It's across it, so that was me and the missus down to our underwear, crossing through this freezing cold water.
Now that camp is all set up, I'm gonna get some dinner on. I'm actually starting to feel a little bit peckish now. So I'm gonna get my stove out, get some water on to boil, and rehydrate myself some dinner. I've brought along a Norwegian Arctic field ration to have for my dinner tonight. These are fast becoming my favourite backpacking food. You know, there's a whole meal in here and there's a drink and there's other bits and pieces. So yeah, I brought one of these. This is a chicken kebab stew flavoured one. So looking forward to that. I'm actually going to open this now because there's a drink inside, and I feel like I need a little sugary drink, so I'm going to tuck right into that.
The apple one tastes of UTI.
Give this a whirl. Lots of rice. How's yours, Martin?
It's good.
What is yours?
Lapskaus, so it's beef and potato.
Beef and potato.
It's like a very typical sort of northern Scandinavian, it's Norwegian. I think it's actually a Sami, originally Sami recipe, but it's just like mashed potato, carrots, a bit of pepper I think, and beef.
Nice.
It's really good, but it's just, after that lunch today,
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find the space for it. The old Carlsberg.
Come on, Jess. Where did you say this is from?
Martinique.
Martinique.
Yeah. I don't know how it's worth over 100 whatever pound a bottle. In coffee it'd be alright, but it's too strong to drink neat, I think.
It's certainly warming.
But I'm sure we'll manage her to drink it.
It's actually getting smoother by the sip.
Yeah.
Well, folks, it is pretty much bedtime. because the rum's all gone. Yeah, Martin brought some rum, and I bought some rum. Martin's rum was definitely the winner.
Fire water.
It was fiery. Yeah, yeah, very good. But there's something about sitting here and just listening to those waves crashing on the shore. Fantastic. And what a day it has been. That paddle through the estuary just blew me away. It was just stunning. You know, where the estuary widened up and you couldn't really tell whether you were in the river channel or not. The posts were there, but they weren't necessarily easy to follow. You know, there were sort of tight turns that you had to do almost, really. You just kind of keep between them. But just stunning.
If you were coming the other way.
Yeah. And then at least the port and starboard were on the right side.
The colours were the right way.
Yeah, that didn't help. But yeah, no, it was just gorgeous out there. You know, just full of wildlife, all those seabirds and things. I mean, I haven't, you know, I've said this before, I haven't got a clue when it comes to, you know, recognising which birds are which, but there were plenty of them out there, and they were lovely to see. Yeah, even the bit before we got to the estuary, where the channel was really narrow. That was, well, it was almost like the Waveney, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much. It reminded me of our paddle through the Waveney.
Through the jungle.
Through the jungle that time, it really did.
Yeah, that was good, really nice, and a fantastic ride to end the kind of journey today along the beach. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that, to be able to just, you know, ride along at pretty much normal pace, really, along the wet
seal
sand.
pup on the beach as well.
And the seal pup, yeah, it's just been absolutely fantastic. And that lunch, that seafood platter in Southwold, that was something else. I mean, I've eaten in that place a couple of times, more than a couple of times. I've only ever had fish and chips, but the seafood platter there was, well, that was something special, wasn't it?
It really is. It really is well worth it.
Yeah.
It's probably been one of my most favourite local trips that I've done in a long time. It's something I've wanted to paddle. As you say, you know, just biking, the whole concept of just biking there, getting on the pack raft and just getting out and coming out here, it's just
all under your own steam, with your own efforts.
And I say it so many times, but pack rafting does massively open the doors to adventure. And,
totally does,
and what we've done today has just been an absolute cracking thing, combining pedals with paddles. It's just been brilliant. It really has been a cracking night, and to finish it off with a good bit of rum on the beach.
Yes, can't beat it. Yeah. Good night, folks, and I'll see you in the morning. Morning, folks. Had a very good night's sleep. Slept through solidly till this morning. Woke up about 5:30 to that beautiful sound of waves crashing on the beach, and the sun shining through the clouds. It was absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, what a place to wake up. I just love it here. I've never been to this little bit of beach here. I've been to a beach a bit further up the coast, which is equally as nice, but this is a good spot and it's really quiet. Yeah, lovely. Made a nice cup of coffee this morning, which I'm just enjoying as I wake up, and then I'm going to get some breakfast on the go shortly. I've bought another freeze-dried breakfast meal with me, scrambled eggs I think it is. so that'll do the job for continuing on my way today. I've got about 10 miles to ride to get to a little village where there's a train station, so I can get my train back home. But before then, I'm just going to enjoy being on this fantastic beach. I should have read the instructions properly. I was only supposed to add 140 mils of water, and I added way too much. And as a result, I've got something that resembles vomit in a bag. Before we set off, I thought I'd just give you a little run through of my bike where I've packed everything, because I know some of you will be interested to see, you know, how I've managed to get all my kit on the bike and avoid having a backpack. This rear seat pack here is massive, and that's got pretty much all my camping gear in. So I've got my mattress in there, just kind of sits down at the bottom. My sleeping bag is just stuffed in. I didn't bring stuff sacks or anything for my gear, literally just stuffed it into this pack. So my sleeping bag is kind of there. My tent and the footprint sits behind it. And I've also got room in the back there for my first aid kit and my warm hat, which I didn't end up wearing. And then on top I've got my waterproofs and my Tilly hat there, while I've got my cycling helmet on. This middle pack here has got all my food and cooking gear in. I had all my food in there. There's not a lot of it left now, but there's still some snacks for the journey, for the ride. I've got my stove, fuel, my Trangia burner, my lid for my cup is in there, and my spoon and my rum. I've got some tools just in these little elasticated pouches on the side, and on the other side there's a long pouch which has got my tent poles and my tent pegs in. My cup is here, and then I've got 2 litres of water which are just strapped to the frame here. And then on the front of the bike I've got a top tube bag here which has got all my camera batteries and SD cards, stuff like that in, and my sunglasses and what's left of yesterday's breakfast. I've got my pack raft strapped to the top of my handlebars here. I've got some handlebars with a bar which kind of runs around, so my pack raft can sit on there and it doesn't force down on this bag here which has got all my camera gear in. So if I wasn't filming for this trip, I wouldn't need that, and I wouldn't need that, and I could get away with just having the pack raft on. I need to have this bag to keep my DSLR in, to keep it safe, and I keep my warm puffy jacket in there just to add a bit of extra cushioning, just to protect it. I've got my cookser dangling off the front, and my tripod just sits on the front here underneath these bungees with my fleece when I'm not wearing it. Yeah.
A bit easier.
We've left the beach now and we're just riding along Smuggler's Lane, which is a kind of sandy dirt track, single track path, which is going to take me up to Cove Hive. Martin's just there behind me. He's going to take this route and then ride along the top of the cliffs, I think, up to where he's going, so he hasn't got to ride along the soft sand and shingle on the beach, which is just hard work. I've got pretty fat tyres on my bike. Martin's tyres are pretty skinny, so
athletic.
athletic, yeah. So he's been struggling a little bit with the sand and sinking in. So this is definitely the better route to go, I think. Well, we're here in Cove Hive, and this is where we split and go our separate ways. Martin's going to head north and up to Kessingland, and I'm going to wind my way along those Suffolk country lanes to the train station and home. Thanks, Martin.
Cheers, Simon. It's been absolutely brilliant. I hope you enjoyed it. It's nice to have a mate to finally come bike rafting, so I don't look Billy No Mates all the time. But no, it's been brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
It's been fantastic. Yeah, that paddle along the River Blythe yesterday and through the estuary was just sublime, and riding along the beach and the camp was just fantastic. What a place to spend the night, to the soundtrack of the seashore. Yeah, beautiful. Lovely food. That seafood platter yesterday.
Unbelievable.
That was something else, that was. And yeah, good grub on the beach and plenty of rum and good company. Fantastic. Yeah, so I'm gonna head on my way, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.